Hey, what is up you guys? It's David here from cleverprogrammer.com, and today we are going to be talking about the 10 most useful and best extensions for VS Code that you can possibly download today to make you more productive and make you a better developer. Before we get started, I want you to go ahead and smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Comment down below what you want me to go ahead and make a video on about next. And I also want you to go ahead and check that link down below. It is actually directing you to Profit with JavaScript, our #1 course, and probably the best JavaScript and React.js developer communities out there. We have so many people who landed jobs at big companies such as PayPal. So I definitely want you to go ahead, check it out. And with that said, let's roll that intro. Alright, so let's get started and let's take a look at what we have here and what kind of extensions am I talking about that will make you a better developer. So the first one is actually auto close tag. So before we actually get started, this is a simple React.js project. I just ran a create React app in a dummy folder. I think I even called this one React dummy. Yeah, that's right. And so this is only for demonstration purposes. I'm not going to use this in any live project, but yeah, I just made it so I can demonstrate all the stuff that I will be talking about today. All right, so the first one is actually auto close tag. Now this one is pretty self-explanatory. Now this one is actually explains itself. So let's take a look at how it works. So if I make a little space over here, and I just open up a H1 tag, and notice that the moment I close it, it closes the tag immediately. So that's pretty much our first one. Super helpful. You will never ever forget ever again to forget any kind of HTML tags. It just saves you a ton of time, and you will just not be worried about like, okay, why is my React app not working? Why is it not showing up the way I want it to? Because auto close tag is actually going to take care of it. All right, so the next one is actually, I still counted it as #1. This pretty much ties into the auto close tag and all these HTML helper stuff. This is auto rename tag. So let's go back to our app.js, and remember I have the H1, and say I don't even want that H1 anymore. I want a P tag instead. So I will just go ahead, delete, and notice immediately deleted that one as I go. And now I have empty tags, and I can just type in P or whatever I want to. So if I want a table instead, I can have it. And notice that once I start typing in the class name, it's not going to do that. So it's super helpful. Again, saves you a ton of time. You don't have to worry about what's gonna happen. It takes care of it for you. All right, so #2 is actually bracket pair colorizer. Now this one is again going to help you not to miss out on anything, and this is actually just going to mark your brackets with the same color. So you can go ahead and start taking a look at what's going on here. So notice right over here you have a purple one which actually gets closed right away, another purple one which is going to be closed over here. It also actually highlights how long that bracket is, so super helpful. Once again, let's take a look at how it works. So right now I'm just going to go in and type in use effect, boom, and I will actually create a little bit of space over here, which is good. So notice that I have this purple one which closes over here, and actually it marks everything for me, so I don't have to worry about not closing a bracket anymore. Because if in case I delete this one, obviously my app is going to freak out and it's not going to know what I'm doing. But I know that something is off. I don't have one of these closed, so let's go ahead and close it, and everything is fixed. So as simple as that, super helpful. I highly recommend everybody goes ahead and downloads this one. All right, #3 is actually prettier. This is a code formatter that we here at Clever Programmer use a ton. We recommended everybody to go ahead and set it up, work with it, play with it, and just work with all the indentation stuff. It saves, again, a ton of time for you. It just makes your code easily readable. So if I remove this space that I put in here, so now you see I have all this indentation correctly, but if I go ahead and mess it up and just fix it, boom, it actually works perfectly. I can also set it to trigger once I save my file, and I actually have it set up in a way that once I unfocus the window, it actually saves it. So I will have it immediately auto-saved, and also my code will be formatted. So that's probably the best way that you can go ahead and work with VS Code. It actually saved me a ton of time. So let's go ahead and take a look at the next one. All right, number 4 is ES7 React Redux GraphQL React Native Snippets. This is it over here. Take a look at it and go ahead and download it. This saves me so much time. I can't express how useful it is. Go ahead, download it and start messing with it. So let's say I want to create a new component. So I will go ahead and add a component.js file. Now I have an empty file. I want to have a React component, but every time I want to do it, I would have to type in so many lines of code just to have a working component. I obviously don't want to do that. So instead, I'll just type in RAFCE, which will actually create a React arrow function export component. Boom. That's it. Simple as that. I can also do it with a Redux slice. So I would just type in RX slice. Boom. So many lines. I saved myself a headache not typing 18 lines of code. Instead, I just typed in a few letters and hit return. Boom. That's it. Super helpful. I think it speaks for itself why it is so helpful. Number 5, GitLens. GitLens is, Git supercharged, but it gives you a nice little overview of what is happening inside of your application, helps you identify what kind of code did you move around and what happened. So if I add a H1 Clever Programmer in here and another return, I can go ahead and compare these two codes, and I see that I added these 3 lines. Obviously, I can move back in time, can do all these kind of sort of stuff. So it is super amazing to have this thing. And I can also, if I go back in here, I know that I can highlight this and I know that I made these changes, what's happening, what I did. And also here, if I made the commit, I know that I made it 4 days ago on the 28th of January, and it was called initialize project using create React app. Super helpful. Once again, helps you identify what was happening and when. So highly recommend, once again, go ahead and download it. On to the next one. Number 6, import cost. Import cost actually helps you how much stuff did you import into your project. So if I were to say, go ahead and add material UI and then import the button, and then actually use it in the project, then it would tell me that I am using an extra 73.9 kilobytes in the node modules. So that's just a nice to have and nice to know. And if you are like really on the optimization side of things, it is actually really helpful as you know that how much storage your application is going to cost. All right, moving on to number 7, live server. This is actually probably going to be only used by people who are working with plain HTML, CSS, and JavaScript files. This is super beginner friendly and makes your job so much easier by just firing up a live server and enabling live review and live reload and hot reloading inside of your browser. And that way you can just go ahead, save the file, and just like here, just like over here, I am live. Boom, it actually changed it immediately. So super helpful, makes your life so much easier. So make sure to go ahead, check it out and use it. Moving on to number 8. This is a collaboration application. Especially nowadays when everybody's working from home, super helpful to have something that helps you work with your teammates or coworker or somebody, and actually give them access to run, to type code in your machine, run stuff in your terminal, and that way you guys can work together, debug stuff, build stuff together, something like that. This is something that we use a ton inside of Clever Programmer. So again, highly recommend going ahead and downloading it. And actually, this is the one that we used during live streams. So once again, an amazing tool. Go ahead, use it. Sometimes it actually can be super buggy because it's a Microsoft product. You're kind of used to that. Anyways, helps you a ton, saves you so much time. Number 9, Error Lens. This one is by far probably one of my favorites. This one actually detects if you make a mistake. I did not close this button tag. It already tells me that, yo, something's up, and highlights a row. Might not tell you exactly what's up, but it definitely helps you a ton when you're debugging. Definitely, once again, probably one of my favorite ones, just because it just highlights and it just doesn't let you make syntactical mistakes. So super helpful once again, especially for beginners. This is going to save you so much time and so much pain, and you will actually enjoy programming a ton more. Number 10, React Native tools. This is a little more advanced stuff, but this actually helps you create React Native apps. I use it a lot when I'm working with React Native. Makes it easier for you to write React Native applications, and it just helps you a lot. All right, I actually have 2 more bonuses just because 10 wasn't enough. But let's take a look at those. All right, bonus number 1 is Firebase snippets. We all use Firebase, we love Firebase, but sometimes it's just so good to have a few different snippets that we can actually go ahead and take advantage of, and I just don't have to type out all the code. And bonus number 2, because I'm an Apple junkie, I kind of hate how VS Code looks, so I just installed this XCODE 12 theme. So if you are a Apple junkie just like me, you will appreciate this a lot. If you guys are not that much of an Apple junkies, you don't have to worry about this any at all. This is just a nice little theme that I use, and I actually like the colors much more. I think these are more vibrant, and they just make me so much more happy. Unlike the original colors of VS Code, which are kind of boring and matte, and I just don't like them. These are so much nicer colors. All right, so there you have it. The 10, actually 12 best extensions that you can get started with today for VS Code that will 10x your programming career and up your game so much, and you will get so much more effective. I can't wait to see all of you going ahead using them and actually build amazing projects. Just tag us in any kind of project that you build, because we love to see all of you being creative and being amazing. So make sure to follow up, give us a follow, subscribe to the channel for more awesomeness. Thank you so much guys for sticking till the end. Make sure to drop a snail emoji down below. This is David from cleverprogrammer.com. Make sure to drop any kind of questions that you have in the comments or DM me. And with that said, I'll see you in the next video.